Hi, so my name is Alexandra Brock. I'm currently a senior at the University of Houston. I will be graduating after this at the end of this semester with a certification to teach math 4th through 8th grade. A little bit about me, my family's pretty small. It's really been me and my mom and then a couple of siblings and my dad and I really haven't had the opportunity to learn a second language as a child. I really wasn't exposed to different cultures, and that was just kind of a missed opportunity for me. But I know I really can't share the personal testimonies and reflections that some of my peers can, just not having that experience. So, I did start learning and was exposed to different languages when I started middle school. I went to a prestigious Lutheran middle school where there was a lot of importance placed on learning other languages. From a religious aspect, I learned a little of Latin, and as a student, we memorized different Latin songs just as a way to praise God, and that was really my first exposure to a different language. Um, it was also required to take Spanish throughout middle school, and so that was sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, and that really just opened my eyes to a new experience. I hadn't been exposed to something like that, and it was really different, but it was also really fun. I kind of had the traditional classroom in that we really learned vocabulary and just memorized it and repeated it and wrote it over and over again and then would repeat it again. It was a lot of repetition and it was kind of monotonous in that way. But in hindsight, I really some of that vocab it comes up in my head and I remember it. So it really did help me, and I I also it was also an engaging classroom. So it kind of had both mixes, traditional, but it's also engaging in that, we had the new technology, the smart boards had just come out, and we had the fake pens that you could write on the board, and that was just something really new. And we would practice conjugating verbs on the board, and it was fun. And also, we would play games. I remember throwing beach balls to each other and just conjugating verbs. And that was fun and it was different and it was exciting. And then also, getting rewards when you would enunciate, or even more than getting something right, really just trying. If you would try to a level that really you hadn't seen, then you would really get rewarded. And it made you want to try harder. And so it really was fun. And like I said, I really remember things that I wouldn't have thought I would remember from that long ago. But just that, I think it really was that mix of that kind of drilling those vocab words and conjugating skills, and then also mixing it into a engaging and fun atmosphere was really nice. The teacher also made a huge impact, I really think. She was from Panama and she was excited and she would tell us about Panama and how beautiful it was, and she would share her culture. And I mean, one time she brought in plantains for everyone to try, and she would just tell us how she would eat those as a little girl. And we really could feel her excitement, and it made us excited to learn as well. So when I went to high school, I continued on learning Spanish for the next 3 years. And even though I think I got to Spanish 4, I really think that those 3 years in middle school, I learned so much more Spanish than I did in all those years in high school. Even though there was more vocabulary and different conjugations and a lot more technical things, that's not really the stuff I remember. I didn't appreciate the opportunity to learn a different language when I was in high school. An importance kind of came off of learning, and it wasn't really seen as cool to make good grades, and there wasn't that huge importance as there was in middle school. I really didn't try as hard as I could have, and also I didn't appreciate or see how Spanish could help me in my future and how I would really benefit from using it. And that was just, I think, a mix of being young and just missing an opportunity that I really do regret, because that was 3 years and I could have been fluent, or at least learned a lot more than I could have if I had tried to immerse myself and tried to actually learn. I currently work retail, and I've had the opportunity to practice Spanish a lot more in what I call retail Spanish, and that's where I just I really have learned what I need to learn in order to communicate with customers and help them as much as I can. Um, this is Houston, so there's a huge Hispanic population, and learning two language, you can connect with more people and learn about their lives and just be more helpful as a person. So I've really found that beneficial, just being immersed kind of in that and being able to practice a lot more than I used to. A lot of those vocab that I did learn in middle school mostly, but in high school as well, are really coming back to me, and I've been able to try to at least become proficient. I'm in Hambrick Middle School right now, student teaching. I'm with an 8th grade class, and I've really enjoyed it. Most of my students are Hispanic, so I have really expressed an interest in learning Spanish and becoming better in that way, and they really have helped me and tried to better me, and I've really gotten over any embarrassment that I would have had as an adolescent. I'm a real believer that you learn from mistakes, and I make mistakes all the time, and I pronounce things wrong, and it's embarrassing in a fun way, and that it doesn't bother me, and I want to learn. So they've really helped me with that, and I've enjoyed it. And basically, I hope to continue on that path and just keep learning and growing so that I can become a better teacher. I can access more students and um, help more people, and also kind of get an insight into how they learn and just become a better teacher overall.